1.5 billion views on YouTube. Let us introduce you.
It is an amazing achievement. 1.5 billion views. They're brother and sister. They're from Mexico, or Mexico, I should say. And they've won 4 Latin Grammy Awards. Up until now, they've generally released songs in Spanish. But that's all about to change. Their first dual language album, simply called Jesse and Joy, it's going to be released in the UK on the 3rd of February. Hola, hola, hola.
Hola, hola, hola.
Hi, guys.
Thank you.
Hi.
Welcome to
Thank you.
BBC 5 Live. Now, it's strange. It must be a strange experience being so huge to so many people and then yet coming to another territory and starting again.
It's fun. I mean, more than it is a bit strange, but I think it keeps us
Grounded?
at the edge of the chair.
Nice
No,
exercise.
it definitely keeps us grounded, but it's kind of nice also whenever we have to tell the story all over again. It makes us feel a little bit like, you know what, we've actually accomplished a few things, you know. And we're brother and sister. We were born and raised in Mexico City. Our mom is American. Our dad was Mexican, and we started writing when I was 15. Jesse was 18, and we just started writing music just for fun. So for us to have our music come all the way here after a few years, it feels amazing. I mean, we're celebrating
Just making it out of home. That was an achievement.
We're celebrating 12 years of career with our 4th album in Latin America, which is the one that we're touring with currently. And this is our /5th album, but in English, and it feels so crazy that we're beginning here. Just, you know what I mean?
That's it. So why now? Why decide to do your first English-speaking album?
I think we first wanted to release it or to let our fans and let them get to know who we were, where we come from, that we switched in our day-to-day life from Spanish to English. But it kind of made sense for us living in Mexico City to first show them those
that side of us.
Those Spanish songs, but we wrote at the same time we were writing in English. But at some point, I think it just felt right to do it at this moment. Plus, we also had Mom asking us when we were going to show something that our family in the States would actually understand what we were saying.
No, but we always were pretty, you know, with people.
Sensitive.
We were always, you know, letting people know that we had this dual citizenship, this dual, you know, side of us, and it was only natural that eventually we'd be singing something in English. We didn't want to do it back then because we didn't want it to feel like they were just a stepping stone. We wanted to create a solid fan base, and
Trust.
it pretty much feels like that after 12 years. We have an amazing Jesse and Joy family across the other side of the world, and
What are they called?
they're called Jesse and Joy Family.
So you haven't got a Belieber type kind of,
There's sort of a thing going on. Our first single ever to be released, which was in Spanish, is called Espacio Sideral, Outer Space.
Okay.
Which is also included in this album that will be released on February 3rd. It has most of them are English songs, but we also included some of the Spanish hits over the last 12 years. So you guys kind of get a feel of where we're coming from, and kind of a crash course of Jesse and Joy. And we kind of call them like the space.
Space fans.
Space fans.
But what I was going to say is that some of these songs that we were writing for our 4th album in Spanish,
Because they're very spatial.
yes, were songs that we had originally written in English, like Echoes of Love or Helpless. And while we were writing for our Spanish album, we revisit some of our songs, and we felt like, oh, these could actually be nice in Spanish, because it's not about just translating the words. It's about what feels right and if the song would make any sense at all. So once we rewrote them for the Spanish album, our record label just said, like, guys, if you already have these in English and in Spanish, let's just record them. We did, and our record label in the UK got super excited and said, well, we already have those songs, we have to do something with them. We were like, okay.
Well, let's have a listen to the lead song from the album. This is Helpless.
That is, you know, as someone who doesn't speak Spanish, if that was in Spanish, you could just hear, ultimately songs are about melody and feeling and emotion, and you should be able to get an emotional reaction almost regardless of whether you understand the lyrics. And that is a prime example of that. I could understand, you know, even though that was in English, you can hear just the strength of the melody.
Right, thank you so
that.
much.
Thank you very much.
I've got a son and a daughter, right? And they're 7 and 9. And it's a love-hate, right? I mean, like,
totally.
like, right, that kind of, they would, you know, crawl over hot coals for each
Like
other.
it's their job.
Yeah, right.
Getting
Their
paid for
duty.
it.
It's their duty.
So, I mean, what is this dynamic like? Because you have to spend, there comes a point when brother and sister will grow up and they'll kind of go their separate ways.
Right.
Yeah.
This is complete opposite for you. You spend more time with each other
Than with anyone else.
than anyone else.
Well, you can imagine our parents, whenever we started writing, of course we have that brother-sister dynamic and we would get at each other's throat all the time. So when we wrote our first song, we just kind of like felt like we opened a Pandora box and we just started writing and writing and writing and writing. And it would be 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning and our mom and dad wouldn't say anything. They'd be like, shh, let them be. They're not fighting. Just let them just hang out. Don't disturb that. And we realized that we had so much more in common that we thought we had. So at some point, of course, the first time we went on tour, I was 18, Jesse was 21. It was kind of like the Wild West. That was a make it or break it in our relationship because mom and dad weren't around to say, hey, she's right. Hey, he's wrong. Hey, he's right. She's wrong. So it was kind of like,
you had no one to mediate, right?
No. And I think that helped a lot in our day-to-day relationship because, of course, we still fight. Of course, we're still brother and sister. But we also know that there's a huge blessing of getting to share this together. It's we share the same vision, the same passion, and getting to be, we spend so much time away from home. We're so lucky to have each other,
But of course, you're going to have, you're both very attractive people. You're going to have fans.
Thank you.
And then the protectiveness that is like, who are you talking to? Like, why are you talking to that guy? And like, who is that girl? No one's good enough for my brother. I mean, where does that happen?
I think that's where friendship jumps in. We're also down for the I told you.
Yeah, we're the told you so type of people. We don't say anything until like, I was right.
Okay, it's like that. Okay, that's almost more annoying.
Yeah,
It is.
that's even worse.
But then again, duty calls.
Pretty cool.
You worked with producer Fraser T. Smith on
Yes.
this album.
Correct.
Of course, has
Great
worked
producer.
with Adele and Sam Smith. How did that come about, and how do you, generally speaking, choose your collaborators?
We are very, very hands-on with when it comes to who we get to work with and share our music and get into that studio intimacy of creating music and it just felt right when we sat down and talked about some of the top voices in the world, including the two of the ones you just mentioned. And to me, it made sense because I've heard my sister's voice I think more than anyone in the world after her, and it kind of made sense to me that it was good to come with Fraser and get some of the big boys and work with us, and we had a pleasure. And he's amazing. He's really
He's a good friend.
and
Super talented
and sensitive
guy.
towards music, and we had a good team going on.
That's what you need. Well,
Thank you very
look,
much.
the wonder that is 5 Live, this radio station, is that we always break for important sport. So hang fire where you are.
Yeah.
Let's go and see what's happening in the cricket.
Yeah.
Still advantage India.
We are here with Jesse and Joy, two of the biggest music artists in the Spanish-speaking world, and making their assault on the English-speaking world as well. What is your understanding of cricket?
What is your
Jesse is now
understanding?
looking at the TV
What would be your
screen to
understanding
try and
of
work it out.
tacos?
I love tacos, yeah.
But do you have a chicharito in cricket?
No, I have no idea what that is.
I'm so
Then I
bummed
don't
out
know
that
what
he
it's
wasn't
about.
here anymore by the time we got here.
It's quite complicated. I found it very, very hard to learn the rules of it. Let's just put it that way. My mum had to explain it to me repeatedly. You two writing music, does somebody take the lead, or is it always collaborative? Those nights we're up till 4 and 5 in the morning.
Well, I think that the brother-sister dynamic actually came in handy when it started, when we started writing, because of course you don't want to be the pushy one saying, no, it has to be like this because I say so, or vice versa. But that brought out some sort of competitive vibe between us in a good way. It's not about who has the last say. It's not about who has the best word. I mean,
Quality control.
not the favorite word or phrase or line. It's more about, okay, I see what you're saying. I can, bring it up a notch, or I can say that better, vice versa, until we come up with those lines, those phrases, those melodies that just make us make our skin get ooh and make us give us goosebumps. I think that helps a lot when we're writing, so no one takes the lead.
Just to let you know that result was not out in the end in the cricket, so they are now 328 for 8. Sorry to interject.
That's all right. I mean, I was looking at the Dueles video, and it was really interesting the kind of issues that it dealt with. And how important is that to you? I know that you went out and, you were really keen on getting Latinos to vote, for instance. You seem to take the responsibility that you have very seriously, in the sense that you don't just kind of shy away from difficult issues. And for those people who haven't seen the Dueles video, it's about you're Jesse, a central character in it, and you need to find money to pay for your wife or girlfriend or partner's girlfriend. It is definitely a girlfriend. That's a girlfriend, because the gangster guy says go find another girlfriend. Which is not really. And right. And it's it's gangsters and it's money, it's corruption, it's health. I mean, it's the whole thing.
I think the fact that we already get to do what we love doing the most. I mean, we do what we love. At some point, makes us feel useless, because we're just helpless, because we're already just doing what we love. What can we do besides that? How can we make that and turn it into making an actual difference? And we've been involved with environmental causes, social causes, and the recent presidential elections in the U.S. We invited all of the Latino community to get registered and vote, which there are over 27 million possible voters, and only 12 or less than 12 million are registered, and we invite them to get informed, no matter who they vote for, as long as it was their choice.
Yeah,
we kind of learned at some point in our lives that some of the biggest issues or problems are because of lack of communication, lack of knowing, and we feel like having a microphone in front of you gives you power. It's a big responsibility. It is a big blessing, but it comes with such a big responsibility. And we were like, look, if people need to know about things and we have a microphone, we might as well just start using that for good. And yes, we've been really outspoken about a lot of things, and one of those is trying to represent our Latino community and Hispanic community in the U.S. and in the world, because of course stereotypes are all over, but we're here to break them, and yes, of course it's a big responsibility. And also with our videos, I mean, some of them can come off a little bit like a soap opera, but I think that they have a good message in the end.
And how do you feel, as being of mixed parentage, both American and Mexican, but grew up in Mexico City, about the kind of stereotypes, you just used that word, that were put through in the recent presidential election from President-elect Trump about Mexicans and the Mexican community? How did that make you feel?
Well, it's then again the same thing. Like, it's whenever you hear a song for the first time and you don't know the band, what are you going to do? You're immediately going to compare it to something that you do know, until you actually get to know that band and you start discovering it. I think it happens the same with people from different nationalities. You will, of course, think of the stereotypes, not because you're a bad person or you don't mean well. It's just the fact that you don't know about them. So whenever someone with the power of a microphone starts making allegations that are not as nice, well, the only thing that we want to do is we want to fight that negativity with love, with good things. And that's what we've been trying to do lately. We're here to represent a Latino community, and not just that. We've been trying to get all the minority groups in the U.S. to stick together, because yes, I think we're facing challenging times, but definitely we have to look at it in a positive way. And we think that some of the best movements in art have come through challenging times, and either we step up or we get we fade away with the whole noise in the crowd.
Just the fact of us being here is like, it says a lot, and it's like, this is what we're doing, and we never thought that we'll be showing our music to you guys all the way across the world.
And your fans must have, because you must have a lot of young fans as well from Latino communities, and they must have quite an expectation of you. I mean, since President-elect Trump made those comments, did you have fans getting in contact with you and saying, we need to stand up, or we need to say something about this? You've just made that point, Joy, about love and positivity.
Well, definitely, and we've really, I mean, it would be silly of us to, start spreading hate. Of course, we feel a little bit attacked, but in the end, he's already been elected president. We need to start looking at the good outcome that could, possibly come out of all of this. And honestly, it's more about what we can do now to help. What can we do now to stop that hate and spread love? And yes, it might sound extremely corny.
Music is a great way of bringing people together.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
That's the least we can do, and that's what we're trying to do.
And not only the positive vibe, but also is like not just being positive and sit down, but being positive and getting informed, because a lot of the fear that's going out there is because of the lack of information.
Over 1 billion, as we say, 1.5 billion hits on YouTube. When did you first realise that this would form such a big part of your success and reaching people?
Oh my gosh.
Remember one time after we won our first Grammy, I heard this anecdote of my dad watching us on TV winning the Latin Grammy for Best New Artist. He's like,
which you've won the Latin, lots of Latin
thank
Grammys.
you.
6, by the way.
And we
Yes.
actually
Not
nominated-
4,
Yes.
6.
And we are nominated right now for an American Grammy in February in LA. And Mom says that Dad was kind of joking. He's like, "You see, wife, and you wanted to throw him to the garbage."
No. No.
Just
I
imagine.
mean, it's
Where do you keep your Grammys?
we each have our own set.
Yeah. Well played.
And
That's brilliant.
And they're at home. They're like a little bit of a reminder, because of course it's amazing to feel that, ooh, I got 6 Latin Grammys, but at the same time they would mean nothing if we wouldn't have the support of more than 1.5 billion people. And we really feel lucky and blessed, and we do have that responsibility of not letting ourselves down, because then we would let so many others down.
I mean, your friend here is videoing all of this
Yes.
on his phone. Do you ever feel, guys, that every aspect of your life is documented and shared? Does that sometimes feel a little bit too much for you, or have you grown up with that so it's totally fine?
We did
Sorta.
grow up with that. I mean,
Yeah.
we started when I was 18. It's kind of the only thing we know. But I think it was a really good age, because we got to get like the good values, and the like mom and dad still got us a little bit in a bubble at that age. But it's so funny, because the only difference is that our teenage years are in the internet.
Yes.
Could you come away? I mean, we had Ed Sheeran on the show a little while ago, and he obviously came off the internet for a whole year. He told me that he now no longer has a mobile phone. Could you do that?
Your face.
I totally would make sense.
What?
I'm a millennial. Maybe that's what I was like,
He did what?
They could even hear your face in there.
exactly.
Joy, Jessie, thank you both so
Thank
much
you,
for being with
guys.
us on the programme today. It's a
Thank
real
you.
pleasure, and the best of luck with the new album, which is
Thank you
out
so
on the
much.
3rd of February, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, it's already available for
Pre-order.
pre-order.
Brilliant. It's called Jessie and Joy. That's it for us for this week.